Hello Cules, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal. Welcome to the match review of Alavés 1, Barcelona 1. Barcelona have dropped even more points in La Liga. It's a bad evening. Incredibly frustrating. Just an absolute nightmare on Halloween, and there is so much to talk about. So without any further ado, let's get into the match review. And as always, there's no better place to start other than Ronald Koeman's team selection. So if we do look at it quickly, I think as a whole, people were pretty goddamn happy with the lineup. You know, it wasn't perfect. I think people would have expected Dest in the team. Also Pjanic ahead of Roberto and Busquets. And that was probably justified if we know now, after the full-time result, both Busquets and Roberto didn't exactly cover themselves in glory, especially the former. So honestly, team selection-wise, it was interesting. It was ambitious from Koeman to play, Dembele and Ansu up there with Griezmann and Messi. But the rest of the team didn't work out at all. I thought it was a dismal performance, especially in the first half anyway. And Barcelona, a lot of them should hang their heads in shame, because I honestly thought that first half was absolutely shocking. And I'll go into more detail, of course, as the game goes on. But lineup-wise, it was bright. It was meant to be positive on paper. But we've still got a few of those players like Alba, like Busquets, like Roberto, and even Piqué to an extent, where you look at them and think, are you just a little bit past it? Are you too old? Do you give enough for the club? We have to definitely think about that in the coming weeks, because here we've dropped even more points and essentially have waved goodbye to the La Liga title. But let's crack on with the match action, because a match that crazy and mental is so much to talk about. This is almost the best way to go about it. The game started, and honestly, I thought Barcelona was shocking. I'll use appropriate language here, but we are absolutely shocking in my opinion, and it's just not good enough. If you go away in La Liga, in these sorts of games, you have to go in with the right mentality, else you're just going to keep on dropping points, and we will keep dropping points if we don't improve it. You can't just rock up at a stadium where you know how things are going to be, you know how Alavés are going to play. You can't just rock up and just go through the motions, and that's what we were doing. Absolutely shocking from Barcelona. The passing was off, the intensity in our play was non-existent, the desire, the character from the team in that first half was absolutely abysmal. And honestly, we got a few chances for sure. You look at Messi, had a free kick blocked off the line, Ansu Fati got in, certainly should have scored. Dembele was getting in behind a few times. There were some moments, but for the majority of it, it was abysmal from Barcelona. I mainly look at the attitude, the passing accuracy was absolutely dismal, and it's Alavés who get the goal. And this was an absolutely comical goal. It really is. It sums up, because we've recovered a counter-attack well. Longley, who I thought was our best player in the first half, he came off at half-time, probably because he was on a yellow card, and Koeman didn't want him getting another one in the second half. He actually wins the ball back. He gives it back to Piqué. Everything's completely fine. And then Piqué is just going to roll the ball back to Neto, but Neto actually then makes a decision to come a little bit far off his line. And once that happens, he closes the space that he actually has to control the ball. Rioja, he challenges Neto. Neto almost fumbles the ball through his own legs. It's an absolute nightmare for Barcelona. And it is just one of those moments where you just got your head in your hands and you're thinking, oh, Lord, give me strength. Because what on earth have we watched? One, I thought the first half as a whole, up until the 33rd minute, was abysmal from Barcelona. Like I said, I wasn't happy with it. And then to see a goal like that go in is just a stuff of nightmares. And the rest of the half was shocking. Nothing happened at all. We didn't respond really. We didn't really have any chances, to be honest. Messi had a free kick here and there, trying to get it over what was an absolute wall that Alavés set up throughout the whole evening, in truth. And there was nothing from Barcelona. I thought the first half was shocking. I can't reiterate that enough. Not good enough. And if you want to win La Liga, you've got to come to these grounds and go with the personality, the mentality to win the game. Honestly, doesn't look like they want to win La Liga, does it? Because they're not rocking up to these matches with the right mentality, with the right desire to win the match. And again, we've dropped points. 2 points out of 12 in our last, 12 available points in La Liga. That's not going to win you the league, and Barcelona essentially, guys, like I said earlier, can wave goodbye to the La Liga title, because this just isn't good enough. It really isn't. I know we've had a hard start, but away to Alavés, this was a chance to get some points on the board, win the game, and it just was not good enough. But the second half was absolutely mental, because Koeman made an absolute abundance of changes at half-time. Pjanic came on in midfield for Busquets, and then it gets even more interesting, because Trincao came on for Dembele, and those two changes are normal. And then it was Pedri, almost, who came on instead of Longley, if you like, and that meant that De Jong went back to centre-back, Pjanic was in midfield, and Pjanic was actually in midfield next to Messi and Pedri, and then in the front three it was Ansu on the left, Trincao on the right, and Griezmann up front. And for me, that kind of worked in a way. It was odd from Koeman. It was very attacking, obviously. But we were probing Alavés. We were throwing the kitchen sink at it. It's fair enough. I think the second half was massively improved from the first half, of course. Alavés sat in massively. They didn't attack really in the entirety of the second half. And we'll get onto the red card later, of course. But They just sat in an absolute wall. Barcelona were probing, we were trying to get some width in the play. It was decent from Barcelona, you know, to be fair. There was desire to get back into the game. There was a lot of chances here and there, you know, Messi was constantly getting on the ball, so was Pedri off the bench, who was really good. Anderson and Cal were creating the width. The fullbacks didn't do enough today, no way near enough. We usually look for Alaba to open up teams, but he just was awful. There's no other way to put it. Alaba did absolutely nothing out there, so that was an issue for us. But it's about the 65th minute or so where the game completely flips on its head, because it's Jota, actually, who's one of Alavés' more creative players, who puts a high boot in on Piqué from a loose ball. He shouldn't be doing it, and he was already booked from the first half for another really stupid foul, actually, and he's off. They can have no complaints about that. Their manager, Machin, is absolutely fuming, and it literally goes from bad to worse for Alavés within the space of a minute, and it goes from, well, awful to glorious for Barcelona, because, one, they've had their player sent off, and even at 1-0 I was thinking, go on, this is our chance, do it. And then within a minute, guys, they roll the ball essentially into Griezmann's path, and you got to say, what a finish from Griezmann. He's not in good form. He looks, you know, starved of confidence right now and any sort of service up front, but it's a great chip. It's an instinctive finish, and that's what happens when he doesn't have that much time to think about it. It was a split-second decision. The goalkeeper was rushing out. He dinks it over him, and Barcelona are level. And on the 65th minute, guys, when Barcelona are level, away to Alavés, when we've got so many attackers on the pitch, they're already caved in, they're down to 10 men. Is anyone seriously telling me that you don't go on and win that game? It's not good enough. The way this game has ended 1-1, for me, is almost disastrous. You have to go and win that game. Yes, we went for it. We did go for it. We were creating things, but the fact of the matter is, it's ended 1-1, and that just hurts, guys. It really does, because this game, like I say, it had to be a win. It had to be a win before kickoff, and now that we get there, we'd already slipped up. The first half was awful, but we had a route back in. They'd given us a goal. They'd given us, well, a red card, if you like. You know, they'd gone down to 10 men. The game was there for us, and you got to give credit to Alavés. The wall they put up, the defending, the goalkeeping, it was miraculous stuff back there. It honestly was. It was the stuff of miracles in the Basque country, because there was just unbelievable chances for Barcelona. You know, Messi was carving out things, Pedri was trying to get involved, Trincao and Anderson kept getting in on the flanks. We were trying to chip balls into the back post. Pacheco was getting his hand to things, but the wall they had there, scrambling things up for throw-ins, corners, they were just somehow surviving. And hey, they survived for the entirety of the game. It's a nightmare for Barcelona. It's even more points dropped. We could not get a goal, is the end of the story, basically, guys. We could not find it. Did we create enough there after we got the equaliser? For me, no. I honestly don't think we didn't. We went through the motions way too much there in terms of not really putting Alavés to the sword. Like I say, when it was 1-1 and 10 men, you're just looking for Barcelona to kill them, absolutely kill the game off, and we never did that. We did push, to be fair, the second half, like I say, it was better from Barcelona, especially compared to the first half, but not good enough. And ultimately, look at the score, it's 1-1. We've dropped bad points here, and as I've said a lot of times in this video, La Liga is hanging on by a thread. I honestly, I don't know how to say this, but I think it's over. I really do. I don't know if you can drop that many points with the way Real Madrid win. Even when they play really poorly, Real Madrid find victories, and we know they have their friends in the officiating boxes to help them out. And Atletico also look very good this season, so do Real Sociedad. Look, Barcelona are going to have a hard time picking up wins, honestly. We've got Betis next, we've got Atletico Madrid next. Really? We had to win this game. We had to. And that probably is where I'm going to draw this video to a close, guys. Look, it's a bad evening for Barcelona. Like I said, we had to win this one, and we haven't done it. We've drawn. It was not good enough. I think we can learn a few things, though. You know, we've got 2 games now before the international break, both at the Camp Nou. And whatever, you know, the league situation is, whatever, you know, we've had in the past, it is a good chance now to win 2 matches, to get some positive feelings back before the international break. Because if we drop points in any more games now, it is going to be looking really bad. We've got Dynamo Kiev next week, and I think we're already thinking to ourselves about what the team's going to look like. I'm speaking about players like Dest, Pjanic, Pedri in there also. You look at Trincao also, I think, deserves a shot in the team, and Dembélé, I think, also was unlucky to be subbed off at half-time. I think we're already thinking, let's maybe play some games without the likes of Roberto, without the likes of Busquets, and Griezmann scored today, to be fair, but even maybe without him up front, for example, or just something different. Let's get some of those youthful players in, the likes of Pedri, like I said, and also Pjanic in midfield, I think, has to start. That's almost non-negotiable now. And then we've got Betis at the Camp Nou also on the weekend. It's, again, like this one, has to be a win, even more so now, because we've dropped even more points in La Liga, and Real Madrid will be laughing at this point. They really will. You know, they already know how lucky they get, or well, they should. And just seeing Barcelona, you know, push them even further towards the title is just pretty saddening. But yeah, that is where now I'm going to end the video. Lots to come now for Barcelona, of course, with these 2 next games. We will be looking to see some improvement. But I'll see you guys then for the preview of the Dynamo Kiev game. It's time for Champions League action. We have been doing very well in that competition as well. See you guys all then. Please let me know all your thoughts on this game in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. It's a bad evening. We've got to pick ourselves up and go again. Subscribe to Barca Universal. Enjoy the content. I'll see you, Cules, very, very soon. And goodbye.